Welcome. My name is Janelle Mills. I'm the school counselor here for the Joe Foss Alternative Program. And on behalf of our Joe Foss and Axtell administration, Tyler Ingleson, Brianna Copley, and Mitch Schaefer, and our Joe Foss staff and students, I want to welcome each of you to our building as we celebrate the legacy of you, Jan. Special thanks to Ben Schumacher from the school district for recording this event so that Jan can view it. Thank you, Tom Hansen and Kello, for helping us get the word out. And thank you, Joe Foss team and students, for your contributions today. And thank you all for joining us as we celebrate Jan. Nearly 30 years ago, Irving Alternative opened its doors. And not all these years later, and about 10,000 students served, we are now known as Joe Foss Program at Axtell. Alternative education exists today because an educator, you, Jan, who has always had a heart for marginalized and at-risk youth, believed that finding ways to academically reach out to all students, regardless of their current struggles in life, was part of the district's mission and responsibility. Jan, you have always taught us that students are not defined by their current struggles, but are students who are resilient, capable, and have much to offer our society and community when given a nurturing, flexible, and educationally diverse environment to learn. So we are here to celebrate you, Jan, and all that you've done for our youth, our district, and our community. At this time, I'd like to invite our district superintendent, Dr. Jane Stavum, to say a few words.
Well, thank you. It's such an honor to welcome all of you here today, and most of all, to honor Jan. I got to know Jan very early in my tenure, and as many of you know, there was no saying no to Jan. I found out also very quickly that she was a champion for kids and a champion for our school district, and was part of so many things in how we do things today. And so, Jan, we are so grateful for your legacy of leadership, and not just while you worked for the district, but we have felt that long since, and we're grateful as a community that you have continued to be a champion for the Sioux Falls School District. When I think about how school districts work and what happens over long periods of time, each one of us comes to this place. We come to a school, we come to an office, we come to a classroom, and the imprint of what happens during that time is felt. And the imprints that last the longest are those that are done with heart and with a great deal of care. And that is certainly Jan, and we are just honored that we continue to feel her imprint, and we will for so many years to come. And students, this is really what it means to serve. The person that we are honoring today is somebody who has served, not just while they worked for the district, but they serve kids, they serve their community, and they serve others. And so, Jan, thank you. We're just so happy to honor you today, and thank you everybody for coming.
Good afternoon. My name is Patty Ward McGuire, and it is such an honor to be invited here today and celebrate Jan. The first time I met Jan, I had no idea that it wouldn't be the last. The first time I met Jan, it was 1990, and I was standing outside the old Washington High School in downtown Sioux Falls. At that time, we didn't have computer scheduling, so I was there as a sophomore scheduling for high school. Jan was walking along, greeting us and introducing herself, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I've never had a female principal. And here I was, meeting the female principal, and I wasn't in trouble. So that year came and went, and I, with the boundary changes, moved to Roosevelt High School. I went on to college, and I came back with hopes and dreams of being the best psychiatrist this side of the Mississippi. But I needed a job as I continued my education. And I heard about this great alternative school that had just opened in Sioux Falls. So I went to the interview, walked in, and there was Jan and some other administrators who I do not remember who else was there. And I interviewed, and I made it perfectly clear I had no intentions of staying in education. They were all looking for educational assistance, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to work with at-risk youth. That was my passion. At the end of the interview, Jan looked around and said, "Patty, of all of these opportunities, which one do you want if you could choose?" I quickly and confidently said, "Irving Alternative School." I left, fingers crossed, and then reflecting on my interview, thinking, why did you make it perfectly clear you weren't going to stay? Nobody's going to take a chance on you. The next day, I got the phone call, and I was hired. I was hired at Irving. Jan took a chance on me. Here I am, 26 years later, in education. So she always has a way of knowing what you didn't even know about yourself. And that's what she does. She teaches us. Whether she's working with staff or students or community, Jan taught us to stop asking why and ask why not. There was no idea too big, too outside the box that Jan didn't want to hear about. She taught us to be bold and she taught us to be brave. Ask questions and learn all you can about a situation. She never encouraged us to admire a problem. She encouraged us to solve the problem. She taught us to lean in. We all have situations and experiences and choices that we make. Lean in, don't turn away. Those experiences, those situations, those choices, that's how you learn and grow. She taught us to lean on each other. We were partners. We were stronger together. In 1999, this dates me a little bit, in 1999 I came to work, and in all of our mailboxes was a narrative that was written by an alternative teacher, and it was published in a leadership magazine. And Jan had copied it and put it in all the mailboxes, and I still have this narrative to this day. And I read it and I share it, and I'm going to share a small portion of it with you today. The title is Courage. I teach for that moment when a student believes in themselves. I teach for teachers' meetings when we discover how much we have in common. I teach for the chance to speak honestly and to listen openly, while others do the same. I teach to become vulnerable, to be questioned and to question, to feel a sense of danger that comes with molding futures. I teach because teaching is the job that demands the most courage. I have the courage to teach. Jan, thank you for having the courage to take chances, not only on me, but all of us that you have worked with. Most importantly, thank you for having the courage to teach.
Good afternoon. My name is Carla Midland. I taught at both the old and the new Washington during Jan's time as principal there. I also served as at-risk coordinator and as assistant principal with Jan at the new Washington, and I succeeded her there as principal. You couldn't have had a better mentor. We go back a long way. Jan and I have been friends and colleagues for over 50 years. Jan has always been an advocate for at-risk students. She firmly believed that their lack of success was not because of low ability, but rather a result of their environment and their experiences or lack thereof. Jan believed that while a young person's experiences may help to explain their bad behavior, they were not an excuse for it. Kids needed to be accountable for the choices that they make, and we needed to help them to learn how to do that. They can then move forward and make even better choices. It's our job to make this happen. Jan's dream was a school where students who were not successful in the traditional school environment could feel accepted and valued in a place where they could learn and grow and be successful. Jan's dream became a reality when Joe Foss Alternative School opened its doors with Jan as the first principal. At Joe Foss, students who had never before experienced success in school were able to learn and to graduate. They were able to become successful, productive members of society. Some entered the workforce, some went on to tech school, and some went to college. Joe Foss was never about lowering expectations, but it was about setting high expectations and then providing the support and encouragement that would help students to achieve them. Jan believed that while we can't change where students have been, we can help them change where they are going by enhancing their experiences, improving their skills, broadening their opportunities and teaching them to believe in themselves. Jan's work with and for young people has continued even after her retirement. She is an active partner in Promising Futures, and she is a supportive of so many other projects and activities that are there to help young people. If it helps kids, Jan is willing to give of herself, her time, and her resources to make it happen. And she's pretty good at recruiting other people to help her. Thank you, Jan, for all that you have done for the youth and all that you have done to inspire so many others to help these young people be successful in their lives. Please help us to continue the work that you have begun and make us people that you can truly be proud of. You are a true warrior, Jan, in every sense of the word. I love you, my friend.
So 40 years ago this year, I first met Jan. I was a student at South Dakota State University and involved in student government, and part of what we needed to do was lobby the legislature on behalf of public education. Jan was the powerful chair of the House Appropriations Committee, and not just powerful, but we all feared her. To this day, I think most of us still fear her, all in good ways. Jan, if you could say one descriptor, this is what I would say. There's never been, and probably never will be, a person like Jan who has put children and education together in the most formidable way possible and pushed and pushed and pushed to see improvements and programs created like this one at Axtell and such. She was my partner in founding the Promising Futures Fund, which works with 20 schools in Sioux Falls with the highest rates of poverty. Axtell is one of those schools. When I visited Jan last week in hospice, she still was talking about Axtell Park. It's never left her heart or her mind or her brain. She still cares tremendously about the work that goes on here and the kids that are served. She is, by all accounts, one of the most selfless people I've ever met in my lifetime. She fights for others, and to her own detriment, she doesn't fight for herself. She always puts others first, and what a great attribute. She's been a great mentor for me. She has taught me so much about kids, about poverty, about education, and all that we need to do to make improvements and fight for the programs that are so important, to give kids every opportunity possible. And as Carla said, we love you, Jan. You're phenomenal. We so appreciate all that you've done for Sioux Falls, for South Dakota, not just with education, but in so many other realms that will be talked about long after you're gone. And we so appreciate everything that you've done for us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ava Gonzalez. I've been a student at Joe Foss for 4 years. I first arrived here in 2019-2020 as a freshman, which they don't accept many of. I arrived here because of my health condition. In 8th grade, I was doing school online. I was actually failing. And I didn't want to go through it again. I also couldn't go to school full days because of my health condition and because of COVID. Coming here, everyone stereotyped this school for the bad kids. I was also bullied in middle school, which everyone thought that would happen again, which that was not the case. Freshman year, I met a lady named Dawn Marie Jo Johnson, who is now a member of the school board. She got me into a program called Leaders of Tomorrow, that helped me open up way more. I started doing more things like vision and voice, which actually I came up on this very stage and I rapped about my health condition. I got job internships. I'm a year ahead in credits. And I talk with Miss Mills a lot. She's helped me through so many things. Coming here, it's like a second home to me. I feel way more comfortable here than I did at Versus middle school. I feel like in middle school I was a face in a crowd of numbers versus being a number in a crowd full of faces. And yeah. At this time, I'd like to invite my fellow students to the front. Jan, the mayor, as proclaimed this day, April 24th, 2024, as Jan Nicolay Day, for your many contributions to Sioux Falls and education. Next, we'd like to honor you, Jan, for your legacy, your vision, and your leadership in establishing our first alternative school in South Dakota 30 years ago. This plaque will be displayed in our Learning Center at Joe Foss. It reads, Honoring a Legacy, Jan Nicolay. In recognition of her passion and commitment to alternative education and youth in our community. For our final gift of appreciation, we'd like to present this book of collected notes to you, Jan, and your family. This book contains handwritten notes of gratitude from us students in appreciation for this opportunity that Joe Foss Alternative School provides. It also contains notes from staff and former staff who want to share their thoughts of respect to you. At this time, I'd like to invite Tara, Jane's niece, to say a few words.
Well, I'm not really great at the speaking stuff, but thanks to my staff at Axtell High School, I did get a little help. Not many of you probably know me, but my name is Tara, and I am Jan's niece. But I also work in this building with Axtell High School. At the time I started here, I actually was living with Jan, trying to take care of her and be her primary caregiver. In those few months I was there, I learned more about her than I already knew. I knew she was strong-willed. I knew she never took no as an answer. And I also knew she could cook one heck of a microwave meal. Hence why I was the cook. She inspired me. She made me take this job, not make, but pretty much encouraged me to take this job to become a stamp on the youth of Axtell High School. I'm going to try not to. That brings me to why I'm here today. I wanted to share a few things about this remarkable woman. She is the strength of our family, and our family is in the front row here, some of them. She's compassionate and she's loving. She is our force of nature. When you're faced with adversity, she stands tall and mighty. Her passion for youth and determination to make a difference speaks volume. Her great treasure is our family. For her, family is not just a word, it's a bond that she holds right here. Either her cabin lake on Brant, which we had very many Easter egg hunts, or the holidays at, thank you Jessica and Braden for hosting those. She made sure everybody had an invitation. And it wasn't just immediate family, it was everybody's welcome. She makes everyone a priority, and she is selfless. In this world full of uncertainty, my aunt is the example of hope and strength. Her spirit, her love, and her commitment to her family should inspire all of us to be better, to love deeply, and put your family first. So today, we're here to honor her, and we're here to be strong, caring, and loving. I wish all of you to go and make this world a better place for our youth, love deeply, and make family first. I want to thank all of you for coming today in honor of her, and we love her deeply. She's still fighting this fight, and we are so proud that we'll be able to take this to her and show her how many people love and care for her. Thank you.
So, Jan, almost 27 years ago, I got a call in February while serving as the agent for activist programs for Minnehaha County through SDSU Extension. And you called me and asked me to apply to join the alternative education team. And I assumed that you were wanting me to come in the fall. And she said, no, I need you in March, so the next month. So, you know, I needed to do that. It meant a lot to me that you believed in me, and I trusted you as you had mentored me through the starting of the Multicultural Center with all the politics and the processes that are involved. And I'd seen how you supported counselors when I had done my counseling internship under Bonnie Driscoll at Washington High School. I also had seen how you support other projects in which I was directly involved. So yes, I chose to take a leap of faith those years ago, and I'm still here and so grateful for the opportunity to work with these amazing kids out here. So this song that we're going to do, thank you Jared for joining me on this, I wrote like 30 years ago as I began my profession in South Dakota working with youth. And today, Jan, I want to dedicate this song to you because it really embodies everything that I didn't know that I was going to meet you, and this was you. So this is dedicated to you. And so to all of you, on behalf of all of us young and us slightly older individuals with whom you've had direct or indirect influence, thank you for providing opportunities for us to feel supported, to learn, and to grow toward our full potential. So we're going to close with this song. So happy Jan Nicolay Day, everyone. Thanks for coming.